From the moment they brought baby Noah home, their German shepherd, Milo, became his shadow. He curled up beside the crib, watching over him as he slept, always close enough to sense every breath. Emma and her husband Daniel never doubted Milo's devotion to their son, until the night the growling began. It started as a low, almost inaudible rumble. Emma woke up with a jolt, her heart pounding in the stillness of the house. She tiptoed into the nursery, only to find Milo sitting stiffly beside the crib, his eyes locked onto Noah. His fur bristled, his body tense, and he let out another quiet growl. "Milo, what's wrong?" Emma whispered, kneeling beside him, but the dog didn't move. He didn't even look at her. Daniel appeared in the doorway, his voice groggy. "Why is he acting like that?" Emma shook her head. "I don't know." That night, and every night after, the same thing happened. At nearly the same time, Milo would sit guard over Noah, growling softly, never touching him, but never looking away. It wasn't aggression, it wasn't fear, it was something else. At first, Emma thought it was just an odd phase. Maybe Milo was adjusting to Noah's presence, but as the weeks passed, his behavior grew more unsettling. He was no longer just growling, he was pacing, whimpering, restless. Some nights he even pawed at the crib as if trying to get closer. The exhaustion of sleepless nights weighed heavily on Emma. She and Daniel tried everything. They took Milo to the vet, but after a full checkup, the doctor found nothing wrong. "He's perfectly healthy," the vet assured them. Still, the behavior continued. They called in a dog trainer, who suggested that Milo might be detecting something imperceptible to humans, a gas leak, an electrical hum, an unusual scent. Specialists inspected their home, testing for anything that could explain his distress. Nothing. Daniel began to lose patience. "Maybe we should keep him out of the nursery at night, just until we figure this out." Emma hesitated. The thought of shutting Milo out felt wrong, but she was exhausted, desperate for peace. That night, when Milo tried to enter the nursery, they closed the door. The reaction was immediate. Milo whined, scratched at the door, then began howling. The sound was so heart-wrenching that it startled Noah awake, sending him into a crying fit. Emma couldn't take it. With a sigh, she opened the door, and Milo rushed inside, pushing past her to sit beside the crib again, his growling even louder than before. Something was wrong. Then came the night that changed everything. Emma woke suddenly, a sound pulling her from sleep. It wasn't the usual growling. This time, Milo was barking, loud, frantic, desperate. She shot out of bed, heart hammering, and ran to the nursery. What she saw made her blood run cold. Noah was struggling. His tiny hands clutched at his throat, his lips faintly blue. His cries were weak, his chest barely moving. "Milo, what?" Emma's voice caught as the dog lunged toward her, gripping her sleeve with his teeth and pulling her forward. Panicked, she scooped Noah into her arms, her hands trembling as she turned him over, patting his back. Nothing. His little body was too still, his breaths too faint. Milo barked wildly, then, in one swift motion, pushed his snout against Noah's tiny chest. The sudden jolt made Noah gasp, a deep, ragged breath, and then he let out a loud, piercing wail. Emma collapsed to the floor, sobbing as she held her baby. Daniel rushed in, his face white. "What happened?" Emma could barely speak. "Milo, he saved him." The doctors later confirmed that Noah had suffered from a sudden airway obstruction. A piece of fiber from a stuffed toy had likely been inhaled, partially blocking his breathing. Had Milo not intervened, the consequences could have been devastating. And suddenly, everything made sense. The growling, the pacing, the restless nights. Milo had known. He had sensed something was wrong for weeks. He had tried to warn them, to stay close, to protect Noah when no one else understood. That night, Emma and Daniel held Milo, their faces buried in his thick fur, whispering words of love and gratitude. They had doubted him. They had almost pushed him away. But now they knew the truth. Milo wasn't just their dog. He was Noah's guardian. After that night, they never questioned him again. Wherever Noah went, Milo followed. If Noah played outside, Milo was there. If Noah napped, Milo lay beside him. And as Noah grew older, Milo remained his shadow, watching over him like a silent protector. Because sometimes, love isn't spoken. Sometimes love is a quiet growl in the night, a desperate bark when no one listens, a life saved by the one you almost didn't trust. Where are you watching from? Have you ever experienced a moment where an animal protected you or sensed danger before you did? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone to see animals in a whole new way. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible, heartwarming stories about the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. Because sometimes, they don't just love us. Sometimes, they save us.